to you.
Good to you.
How are you?
Really well.
Good, good. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Dude. What's on your mind, pal?
What's up?
What's going on?
I became a great uncle. My niece gave birth to a baby.
A great uncle.
Yeah, so I have a...
Great songwriter, great Canadian, great uncle.
I have a grand niece, baby Lucy.
You're a guy that
10 months old,
can be emotional, so that must be quite a thing to even think about.
She's gorgeous. Baby Lucy, named after my mother. She's just a bundle of joy.
Like how big?
Just like,
So when you hold her for the first time, what's that feeling like?
I was with her when she was 6 weeks old. I just revisited her at 10 months, and she's grown.
Yeah.
It's great.
Apparently they do that.
They do.
I stay away,
Everything
but
grows and grows. I wrote a song about that. Babies do, animals too. Even George too.
Yeah. I think I'm going the wrong way. I think that's what's happening.
No.
Well,
your light grows.
Well, I try. You've done so much, obviously, in your career, but I follow you on Twitter. I love the way you treat your Twitter handle. And one thing you're really big on, and you're vocal about it, is the protection of children. And then this book. I mean, Lightweb Darkweb, and you break it down these 3 different categories and all these subcategories. But explain to people who haven't seen this what this is.
Well, the light web is all that we love about the internet. Connectivity to news, people, information, the global storehouse of knowledge. The dark web is the shadow side of the internet. Our vulnerability to, privacy loss, identity theft, predators. The book is dedicated to Amanda Todd.
Right.
So we want a tech revolution that sweeps the world to be safe for users, intelligent and intelligence building, and sustainable.
Do you think there's an emotional or intellectual appetite for that?
Yeah, we shall overcome. I mean, if you think about it, we have reasonable regulations in society in real life. We have an online world now where people are, like I said, not safe, where there's dependencies and addictions with young users.
For sure, but there's this concern that people have whenever you let governments and regulators and companies try to regulate what happens on the internet. Is there a difference in your mind between regulated and open?
Rights come with responsibilities.
Spider-Man, classic.
Every right comes with a responsibility. You not only have, teens and preteens online, you've got now infotech devices in the hands and laps of the very youngest. I'm talking about infants and toddlers. And I say to parents, my message is, infotech can wait. You don't have to start young with this business. Any monkey can touch and swipe. Right. This doesn't take a lot of skill, I learned to email when I was 50. Ask me when I learned to tweet.
Well, 2 years ago?
62.
62 years old.
So...
Were you afraid of it at first? Were you intimidated by it?
No, you just learn it. It's just easy. I mean, it's just easy.
When you were young, when did you feel you had found your way to express this thing, the social justice, that?
I had long hair when Vietnam was raging. I left university partly because of that. But I was searching for who I was as a person, aside from who society said I was, or who my parents said I was, right?
And did you not like who they said you were?
Well, it didn't reflect who I felt I was in my heart of hearts. So ever since then, and throughout my whole life, identity has been a big theme for me. Who am I? And more importantly, whose am I? So I'm just fortunate that in my work with music, I can explore a lot of these themes and sometimes put them into song, and otherwise, have the concerts as a venue for sharing that joy and love that I feel inside. And you have to remember, Maslow had a great quote. He said, healthy individuation requires resisting unhealthy enculturation. And that's a theme I carry throughout my book, Lightweb Darkweb.
Do you think his hierarchy of needs applies to this modern era?
I think had he lived, it would have evolved into a hierarchy of needs, rights, and responsibilities. And that would have been a conversation I would have loved to have had with him.
I suppose for a guy that's got to entertain children, you need to have that optimism, don't you? I mean, does that optimism come from here or from here?
You calling me an optimist?
Yeah, in a way, you're my
You calling me an optimist?
You're my favorite kind of optimist, because sometimes when I watch you on Twitter, I think you're going to get into a fight with somebody.
Oh, yeah?
And I like that. I'm not afraid of you. I like you. But you've got this optimistic streak. That's what seems to... I mean, look, we all have anger in us. We all have our moments on Twitter. You are so open on it. I find that so fascinating that you express so much of yourself.
Yeah, I do. But you know, not in my private realm. I express what's appropriate. Yeah. I don't drink and tweet.
Don't you wish that every iPhone or smartphone had a breathalyzer?
Yeah.
I could use that
you're on to
for texting,
there. Yeah, right.
Are you sure you want to send that?
No, they'd get a remote and do it for remotely. But hey, you know,
by the way, the government's already reading your tweets.
You talk about optimism? Yeah. Who's my MP?
Who is your MP?
Elizabeth May.
Oh, how's that going?
Yeah. Elizabeth May, people.
Yeah, but dude, but in our system, in our current system, most people forget Elizabeth May is even in the House of Commons.
Not me. She's the hardest working woman in Parliament. She's amazing. So well informed, open, accessible, down to earth, non-partisan. I love that spirit of Elizabeth May.
And groundbreaking. Every party has to win at least one seat first, right? Before they can continue to grow. And that's the thing. The Green Party could absolutely grow.
Not that we want to talk about politics.
Yeah, we do.
Nah.
We do.
You call me back for another show.
No, but look, this is all about politics, right? This is all about whose responsibility is it to protect us or kids.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning.
You can't distract me with
hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, hammer out a warning. I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. You know what I'm saying? That's politics.
Now back to politics. But that's it. So that's your chosen path. And do you feel comfortable in that space?
Sure. I mean, because my spirit of talking about politics is nonpartisan, basically. I'm for every family having enough to cover its needs. At a bare minimum, we need living wages, not just minimum wages.
Yeah. So much of what we talk about in terms of safety on the internet also connects to privacy, as you mentioned.
Yes.
And you have a particular access to that. Your sister's the privacy commissioner.
Yes, Dr. Ann Kavukian, my sister, is a worldwide expert in privacy. She's also the privacy commissioner of the province of Ontario in a record-breaking third 5-year term, unprecedented.
Do you talk to her about this all the time?
We talk a lot.
Yeah?
In fact, a few years ago, she said, you know, you really ought to get into doing something about internet privacy. And I was busy with other things. I said, yeah, I'll get to it one day. When Amanda died, I knew it was my time.
Do you agree with everything she's done, your sister?
She is so right on so many issues pertaining to privacy. I'm so proud of her.
Do you agree with everything she's done?
She is so right on privacy. No. Just yesterday, she headed a 3-hour webinar. It was International Privacy Day. Well, it wasn't yesterday. It was a while ago.
World Data Privacy, right? It was an important day.
Yeah, and she is a leader, and she says privacy, and I agree with this totally, is fundamental to democracy. So Snowden,
Attaboy, right?
You know,
Attaboy.
You know.
Raffi, everybody. The Beluga concert goes until June 16th. Hashtag Beluga, by the way, if you go. And also, he's got this CD, which is fun food songs, and of course, the book.
What about the book? Show the book.
Lightweb Darkweb. We'll be right back.